bisschen, bis es aufladet. Also ihr könnt es euch gegenseitig mal anschauen.
Good.
All right. Welcome everybody. Tonight it's Saturday night, 7 p.m. and my guest for our talk tonight and myself would like to welcome you all at home. Maybe you're sitting on your couch having a cup of tea or a cup of water. Welcome here in St. Anton to our Saturday night talk. On behalf of my team of the Mountain Yoga Festival, I'm welcoming you and also my guest tonight, Rhasmi Zimburg. We're gonna talk, or this talk tonight is all about Ayurveda and how Ayurveda can boost your immune system, especially over the next few weeks and months going into autumn and into winter. But let me introduce you first to my guest, Rhasmi Zimburg. I'm very honored to have you here in St. Anton. Rhasmi, welcome.
Thank you, Iris. Welcome everybody. Hello. I'm delighted that I have had this opportunity to do this talk with you, Iris, and especially St. Anton, because they have a very special place in my heart.
How come?
Because I was introduced to St. Anton in my home in Canberra, Australia, because the Austrian Trade Bureau was having a special event in Australia with all the Austrian districts. And St. Anton and Vienna and all Oberösterreich and Niederösterreich were all there. And it was a wonderful, wonderful chance meeting that brought me here today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is this now your first time here in St. Anton?
It is my very first time.
So how has your day been today? What have you been up to?
I think many of the people in the audience will envy what I did this morning. We were up very early in the morning and we did sunrise yoga on top of the mountain as the sun came up. It was the most amazing, magnificent thing because you're surrounded by the majesty of the mountains and you really feel that you are here ready to feed your mind, body and spirit in the lap of nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
And St. Anton is so blessed with beautiful nature.
Yeah. And also I have to say, we are really lucky this weekend because we had the most beautiful sunshine all day long, starting from the sunrise this morning, as Rhasmi was saying, until now. And hopefully even next year when the yoga festival will be on again live for all of you guys joining us here in St. Anton, we will have this beautiful weather as well. But now coming back to the reason why we are sitting here. Rhasmi, tell us a little bit about your story. Why are you so focused on Ayurveda? What's your story?
So I have a story, like each one of us has a story. And I grew up in India, in New Delhi, India, and as I was growing up, mostly we were cured by home remedies that were part of the kitchen pharmacy. And Ayurveda is a way of life, is a way of eating, it's a way of understanding. It's nobody really says I'm eating according to Ayurveda. So everybody just does it.
Yeah.
And you don't really know until you step away and say, wait a minute, so why not? Why don't you combine this with this? Why are we eating this now? Why are we eating this in season? So that was my first introduction. And then I am married to an Austrian diplomat. And so my journey has taken me to live on 5 continents. And during this time, I have created a medicine cabinet that does not only include Indian spices and herbs and Indian foods, but I have taken from each one of the countries that I have lived in.
Which basically, sorry to
Go ahead.
interrupt you,
Yeah.
but it basically means you can have Ayurvedic food all over the place.
Absolutely.
It's not something really just to do
Ayurveda does
in
not
India.
only belong, Ayurvedic food does not only belong to Indian food, you know? So when we get into, we'll talk about what Ayurveda is and what
Yeah.
the definition of a good Ayurvedic meal is,
Yeah.
and I will tell you more about
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But
But-
what does Ayurveda mean? What does it really mean?
Ayurveda means it is the science of life, and it deals with understanding that the whole person is taken into account. It's not just, it has to do with the mind, body, spirit.
Okay, so it's not just the physical body
It's
you are
not just the
focusing
physical
on
body.
when you're probably using some Eastern European medicine.
No, You-
Western European
yeah,
medicine.
you are
yeah,
really addressing the mind, body, and
yeah,
spirit.
yeah.
And Ayurveda takes care of addressing the root cause of the
Mhm.
problem.
Mhm.
And the most important thing is that Ayurveda, when it deals with disease, it's not there to punish the disease.
Mhm.
It's there to restore your body to balance.
Mhm. Mhm. So these are also the benefits of Ayurveda.
Yeah, and one of the most important things is that there's a saying that you are what you eat,
Mhm.
but Ayurveda takes it to the next level,
Mhm.
and it actually says you are what you eat, but how you digest it is very, very important.
So when does really eating food, when does it really start? It starts already in the mouth while chewing.
The most important, the first place where digestion starts is in your mouth,
Yeah,
and it starts with your tongue.
yeah.
And we have many thousands of taste buds just on our tongue, and there are different parts of our tongue that are related to the different tastes. So, a perfect Ayurvedic meal,
Yeah.
say for example, would be one that is that has all the 6 tastes, and I'll get into the tastes in a minute, is prepared keeping in mind that there are with the right combination of spices,
Mhm.
with the right combinations of food, and it's prepared according to the season,
Mhm.
with love,
Yeah.
and it is then eaten with chewing well, fresh, within 2-3 hours of having cooked it, and it's in a quiet environment.
Does that mean with Ayurvedic food you usually eat in silence?
The idea is to really engage all your 5 senses
All right.
and be mindful.
Yeah.
So if you are sitting around and having a conversation, that would not necessarily have you entirely engaged with your meal.
Because, probably it's not just me, but I every now and then see myself having lunch by myself. Not really only with myself, with my mobile phone, I have to admit. So I'm
We all
checking.
do.
We all do.
Yeah.
So I'm checking my emails, or I'm watching a short video which I've seen on Facebook or on Instagram, whatever. Does that mean, according to Ayurveda, and would you recommend leaving the mobile phone on the side in my bag and just enjoy my lunch, or is there still a way I can work around to be able to check my emails?
You really want to do this?
Every
So,
now and then.
Yes. So, the nice thing about Ayurveda is that it's not a rigid
Mhm.
way of eating. It is meant to it's so individualized, right? And if you take a few deep breaths and you start your meal in a mindful, thoughtful way, you are actually allowing your body then to start the process of digestion, right? You take a few deep breaths, you don't really feel like focusing on the phone at that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
After a few breaths, you will have a few bites.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you think about your food, the less you will engage with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you can check your email, you can have a conversation.
So I see now also the combination to yoga,
Yes.
or the similarity to yoga, because if you do anything in consciousness, you do it in a different way. And as you
Yes.
say, if I start breathing in consciously 3 times before I start the meal, then I'm, let's say, grounded,
Yes.
and I'm focused on that, what I'm going to do.
Then you're present to your meal.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
you're engaging all your 5 senses.
Yeah.
So in India, we eat the food with our fingers
Yeah.
in your right hand. And the first thing you look at the food with is your eyes.
Yeah.
You smell it. You've walked into this room and
Mm.
there's smells.
I was
there's
gonna
scents.
say,
Yeah.
was gonna say, Rhasmi, I'm actually working with all my senses right now as well, sitting with you here on this beautiful decorated table.
Because we have all the spices
Exactly. I mean, you can't smell it right now, yeah? But I have to tell you, it is, when I walked into this room, Rhasmi was already there, and all of those tastes, I was just flashed. So, Rhasmi, please explain us a little bit more what you have created this afternoon for us.
So, this is khichdi. Khichdi is Ayurveda's response to wellness. So when you want
May
to
I try?
when you want to reset your system, you have a simple food like khichdi, which is rice and dal, a warm, moist dish, cooked with turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
There's some black pepper, there's some cumin, and I've cooked it with
Very
ghee.
tasty. With ghee?
Ghee, which
Yeah.
is clarified butter, and I've added some zucchini to the dish, and the zucchini is fresh, just lightly sautéed and added to the dish.
Is this like a traditional Ayurvedic dish, of course?
It's khichdi, yes.
It's khichdi, and you can add it to, I don't know, another meal like spinach, or
Yes, you
a
can
side
add
dish like more vegetables,
more,
or you
more
just
green.
eat it like
yes,
that.
you can eat it like this. We ate it when we were sick, or when we were trying to reset our systems, or many cultures have have different foods that are meant to reset the body.
Yeah.
And in Japan, on the 7th of January, they have a food that has 7 different greens,
Yeah.
vegetables that are fresh from the season, and a rice dish, because people have had too much partying for the New Year time.
So
And
is
same
that-
way, this
yeah,
is
yeah.
something to reset your
Mhm,
system.
mhm.
And we normally eat it with pickled ginger
Mhm,
and turmeric,
mhm.
and I've added some raw mango to it, and it's got
Mm.
mustard seeds and lemon juice. So this is a digestion booster.
All
So
right.
before you eat your meal, you have a few bites of that.
Before you start eating your meal.
Before you
All
start
right.
eating your
Mhm.
meal. Why? Because you want to have your digestive fire should be really strong. Because as I said, Ayurveda is all about digestion.
Mhm.
So spices and herbs all work towards increasing your metabolic functioning,
Which is also the fire.
which is also the
yeah.
fire.
Mhm.
The fire in your, there's a saying, you've heard this, the fire in my belly.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively, it is that which excites us,
Mhm.
that which helps us digest our
Mhm.
food, that which helps us have creativity,
Mhm.
and it creates a sense of fulfillment.
Mhm.
So when you have fire in your belly, how could you not digest your food?
That makes totally
Yeah.
sense.
And
yeah.
so spices help you add to your fire in the belly.
Where do you? I mean, we will talk about all those spices now. Where do you get all those spices from?
So, you know,
So where do you do your shopping?
in Vienna, in the Indian store. But I want to tell you something. Recently, I have noticed that since we've just come back to Austria, and I noticed that in the grocery stores like Spar and Billa.
Yeah, don't say any names.
Oh, sorry. So in the normal grocery stores, they have, sections of where all the spices are. You know, you can find curcuma everywhere. You can find organic coriander, cardamom, everything.
So it's basically very easy actually
It's very-
to find
yes.
all those spices and ingredients in our areas.
Yeah. And you know, just because they're Indian spices doesn't mean that Western herbs that grow in your neighborhood or in the mountains are not Ayurvedic.
Yeah.
Many are.
Okay, tell us more about it.
So,
which
you know, for example, I couldn't find any dandelion today, but Löwenzahn, Löwenzahn is a really fantastic herb that also helps digestion. And
But can I just ask, because the Löwenzahn, so you use basically
the greens.
the greens of
Yes.
the Löwenzahn,
Yes.
And you're gonna prepare it
It's a
in
bitter.
a salad. It's
in
a bitter.
It's bitter.
Mhm.
It's got I have to go back to the Six Tastes of Ayurveda.
Yeah.
So-
Tell me a bit
So, you know,
about
the
it.
6 tastes of Ayurveda are sweet, salty, bitter,
Yeah.
sour, astringent, and pungent.
And pungent.
So, what is pungent?
Curcuma.
Turmeric, curcuma is
Curcuma.
pungent. Yeah. Garlic, ginger
Mhm.
are all pungent.
Mhm.
Onions are pungent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you have a sense.
Mhm.
Olives, sea vegetables, tamari, salt is salty.
Mhm.
Celery is
Mhm.
salty.
Mhm.
What is astringent? So astringent is this taste that you have that your mouth becomes a little dry when you
Mhm.
eat it. So nuts are astringent.
Almonds.
Not almonds.
Oh, no,
Almonds are not a
okay.
nut. Almonds are a seed.
Okay.
And they are an exception. They're
Mhm.
sweet.
Mhm.
So grains like rice, wheat, and lentils are all sweet.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Beans and
Mhm.
broccoli are bitter.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so you know, there are some spices and some vegetables that are astringent and
Mhm.
pungent,
Mhm.
bitter and pungent. So you know, there are no clear demarcations,
Mhm.
but there are many lists online where you find what are the different tastes, and there's some really good people that have taken Ayurveda and made it their own. So Ayurveda does not only belong to the East, although it originated in the East.
Mhm.
It is a body of knowledge that is there for all of us to use.
Everywhere,
And
wherever
everywhere
we
we
are.
go,
Mhm.
everywhere that people are, they don't have to be just in India
Mhm.
to understand and
Mhm.
eat and
Mhm.
enjoy the benefits of
Mhm.
this really huge and old, true and tried body of knowledge.
Mhm. Mhm. And as you were just explaining a few of those spices, some of those spices we are using in the Western European kitchen as well.
Yes.
As it is in Italy or even in France. So
And surprisingly, Austria uses a lot more spices, herbs, than say Germany.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, you know, I've seen so much use of nutmeg and of black pepper, cinnamon,
Yeah.
cloves,
Yeah.
and
There's also one here which is quite
ah,
popular here in Austria, which is the
Holunder.
Holunder.
Holunder. Holunder is, Hippocrates called this nature's medicine, and it's there to build your immunity. That's
See?
what, yeah,
Okay.
that's why I bought.
Wonderful.
And salbei. So there's a wonderful story with salbei. So Mary was trying to flee from King Herod's men, and she hid behind a salbei bush.
Mm-hmm.
And so she blessed the salbei bush to have healing properties. So salbei, for example, is also called sage in English,
Yeah.
right? So sage is the wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also really good for Alzheimer's,
Mm-hmm.
for protecting from tonsils,
Mm-hmm.
and for protecting people from night sweats.
So that means basically when you have one of those issues, you're gonna have a cup of tea with sage before you go to bed.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a wonderful, I mean,
And-
it's
and-
delicious.
And you as an Ayurvedic expert, how do you?
I'm
how
not
do
an
you-
expert. I'm
Oh, you
constantly
are.
learning. I'm
We
a
are
student.
all constantly learning. No, but when you're gonna prepare a tea with fresh herbs for yourself, so can you let us know how you're gonna do it?
Yeah.
You gonna let it rest for
20
certain
minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah.
I like to boil the water. Things like ginger, I like to boil it and leave it in there for a longer time,
Mhm.
because you really want the intensity of the ginger. And it depends on when. In the summer, I wouldn't do that. In the winter, I would do
Mhm.
that, because it's a warming
Mm.
herb, and it's too strong in the summer, and it aggravates your pitta, the
Mhm.
fire energy in you.
So now for the next few weeks, as we're going
Ginger
into
is a
autumn,
great thing.
ginger is a great thing
So-
for our immune system.
Yes, but I have, you've uploaded these recipes on the website,
Yes.
but I want to share with you my immunity boosting routine,
That's wonderful.
okay?
That's
So
wonderful.
one of the
so let
things
us
that
know
I
what's in there.
I start my day with is, I start my day with oil pulling.
What's that?
So you swish some oil, warm oil, in your mouth, because you want to improve and enhance the environment of your mouth, your gums. If your gums and your teeth are healthy,
Mm-hmm.
your digestive system will stay healthy.
What kind of oil do you use for
I
that?
use olive oil, but I add in there a few drops of essential oil. I add some sesame oil, and I add a drop of peppermint oil, and I have a little mixture that I've got. So I use that to swish my mouth for I started out with 5 minutes, and I do this now for 15
Wow.
and sometimes 20.
Wow.
And I do other things while I'm
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
and
Preparing
then
breakfast.
yeah, but no, I'm preparing my immunity tonic,
The immunity tonic.
which is turmeric,
Yes.
okay, and black pepper,
Yeah.
ginger.
Yes. How much of the ginger
So-
do you use
So
for it?
the proportions are, for half a teaspoon of turmeric, you have 3 cups of warm water. You have 3 cups of water, 2 cups of boiled water, 1 cup of lukewarm water, and then you add grated ginger, about half a teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it was dry ginger, I would add only a 1/4 teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Less.
Mm-hmm.
And then I add black pepper. Why black pepper? Because black pepper increases the bioavailability of turmeric by 2,000%.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
so that's a
and
real booster.
It's a real booster, and it's really important because turmeric has been now proven to be an anti-inflammation, antibacterial, antiviral, huge in antioxidants, so anti-everything.
Mhm,
you know.
mhm, mhm.
And so I add half a lemon and a teaspoon of honey, plus a 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that too, what that does is that it also enhances my digestive
Mhm.
ability.
So this is really then the kickoff, the
The
boost
kickoff.
in the morning to
Yes.
get into the day.
Into the
Mhm.
day. And then I have another ritual,
Mhm.
which is also really inspired by Ayurveda. I start my fruit in the morning on an empty stomach. Because think about it, if you have fruit digests faster than other foods. And if you have eaten foods that are still not digested in your body, then fruit digests faster and then you ferment.
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's no good. So on an empty stomach is when you eat your apple a day.
Which keeps the doctor
Away. And then you have your, then I have it depends on the season. If it's winter, then I have my Haferflocken.
So like a warm breakfast.
A warm breakfast.
Does that make a difference? I mean, of course, in summer we don't really need that much warm food, so we also eat like cold dishes.
Yes, I have my overnight oats that I prepare
the evening before.
With non-dairy milk.
And you just mix it with the
flax seeds
or seeds.
Seeds and dried dates. Dates are really great. Figs dried figs are really good.
And they all gonna boost your immune system?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Because Ayurveda really believes that one of the most fundamental pillars of Ayurveda is that food heals. Eating the right food at the right time in the right quantity. So quantity is really important.
So
this is this, if you go around getting food, this 2 cupped hands full is your portion of food. And hydration is really important. According to Ayurveda, even water needs time to digest. So cold water, for example, takes 3 hours to digest.
Okay.
Boiled water, cooled, is 1.5 hours. So you've noticed I walk around drinking warm water
all the time. But do you usually also drink water while having a meal?
No.
No. So you drink water throughout the day, and once you have your dinner times, your meal
20
times,
minutes before or 20 minutes after. Again, that's a really good question. Because remember we talked about the digestive fire.
Yeah.
Now that digestive fire, you don't want it turned down. You don't want to turn the flame low.
Of course, and with water you do it. Makes sense.
That's it, right? And so that was a really important thing. So hydration is really important. Warm water is really important. Warm water is digested in 3/4 of an hour.
Okay, but now coming back to your immune boost. So we do have the recipes ready.
Yes.
Yeah. We have uploaded them on our website, Mountain Yoga Festival Stanton.at. There's a section of Rhasmi Zimburg, and you will find all recipes and her tips for Ayurveda on our website.
There's something else. I've also given you a cheat sheet.
Oh yes, the cheat sheet.
There's a cheat sheet of how to boost your immune system, how to start your day, how to feed your creative energy, that means your digestive fire, and how to eat right. What are some of the things that you can do to eat right? What are some of the things that you don't do? So one of the biggest things that we all do, and I'm no exception, is that I think that I'm really doing all the right things, whereas I'm not. So if I become conscious and say, wait a minute, how much water did I drink today? Am I really eating healthily?
So you're questioning yourself?
So you're really being present
Yeah.
and conscious and not fooling yourself
Yeah.
is really important. And mostly what's important is that you have to give yourself permission to take care of yourself. That is the first important thing. You have to take exquisite care of yourself before you can have an immune system that's boosted.
I think that's also a good mantra. A good mantra we can start every day in the morning, that we take care of ourselves, or also in the evening before we go to bed, to say thank you I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm conscious about myself. I do things probably more consciously during the day.
Yeah, think about it. Do you know that supporting your immune system is one of the most powerful things? Because if you think about it, how many times, do you remember how many times you've been sick?
Mm.
And how many times you haven't been sick? So, really,
the immune system is actually the power.
Behind everything.
The power behind everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these are really, really strong words. And I think with these strong words, I would like to thank you, Rhasmi, for giving us just a little bit of an insight of what Ayurveda is all about. And I'm actually already looking very much forward to welcome you again next year to the 5th Mountain Yoga Festival here in St. Anton. Rhasmi, she's going to be with us, and we're gonna have 4 days where we can talk about the secrets and the beauty of Ayurveda.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, St. Anton. Thank you, your team that have been following us and filming us and taking care of us today. And I want to say I look forward very much to meeting everybody and seeing everyone here
In
person and having fun discovering how we should look after ourselves.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so
very
much for coming.
Thank you.
Well, guys, it's Saturday night. We are off now for today. However, tomorrow morning we're gonna start again with a really good yoga sequence with Carl and Sigrid at 10 a.m. in the morning. Tune in to our Facebook account of the Mountain Yoga Festival. We're gonna be live again tomorrow morning. Wishing you a wonderful night. I hope you have enjoyed the day today with some good yoga sequences, with some secrets about the Ayurveda lifestyle, about Ayurveda food. Wishing you a good night and see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao.